You find murtis of Kuber. You find murtis of Lord Kuber,
Lord Varun,
Lord Indra, Lord Varun.
Lord of the Seas.
It's very common, right? So in today's day, for example, you'll find that you'll find many more devotees of Lord Hanuman, of Lord Ganesh, which may not have, as compared to even, Lord Ram or Lord Shiva, because as ages change, the kind of gods and goddesses who attract us also change. Do you notice that when Abrahamic people, when they die, bodies are buried, they're not cremated, and they say R.I.P., right?
Rest in peace, yeah.
Rest in peace. Why are you resting? What's it for? Right? You have to know the philosophical roots at the heart of this. Their belief system is that time is linear, there's a beginning and an end. It's not circular like ours.
The idea is if you exist, you are divine, either in realization or a work in process. But if you exist, you're divine. And all pagan ways had an expansionary and not a replacement mode of worship. The ancient Tolmecs of South America had a god called Quetzalcoatl. The Aztecs took over from them, and their central deity was actually Huitzilopochtli. Bit of a tongue twister. But they took over from the Tolmecs and inherited the god Quetzalcoatl as well.
The early Vedic gods, Indradev, Vayudev, Agnidev, it just appears that as our traditions went along, they weren't as, in temples maybe, idols towards these gods are not as prevalent as more sort of the classical Ramayana, Mahabharata gods. Do you see that difference in Hinduism creeping in eventually?
First of all, the first answer to this is actually if you go to Southeast Asia, you find murtis of Kuber, you find murtis of Lord Kuber,
Lord Varun,
Lord Indra, Lord Varun.
Lord of the Seas.
It's very common, right? So again, I know history books have taught us this, but it was written by the British, who always, their entire thing was what was Catholicism and what is the Protestant equivalent. Right? They always try and see the world in that perspective. What was the old religion? Which was the one that was replaced? Who were the old gods? Who were the new gods?
New Testament, Old Testament, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
We didn't see the world that way. Right? So in today's day, for example, you'll find that you'll find many more devotees of Lord Hanuman, of Lord Ganesh, which may not have, as compared to even, Lord Ram or Lord Shiva, because as ages change, the kind of gods and goddesses who attract us also change. And we see that as natural. That doesn't mean there are some old gods and new gods. They're all there, right? It's just that the age is different. So we worship a different form.
What was
but
that
they're all
movie?
from the same source.
So this is what I was coming to as a continuation of yours. I was interviewing Sunil Shetty, the actor, and he was talking about Bhuta worshipping Bhuta, which happens in Karnataka, and it's considered
your own
weird.
family also.
Yeah.
Tell them about your own family.
Correct. So when I took them as kids and my in-laws and all, when I took them to our ancient home, our heritage home, and wahan pe there is a little temple and you do Bhuta worshipping, and then at that time they were teenagers and they're saying it's such a regressive practice. आप लोग भूत की पूजा करते हो? I didn't know where to start from to explain, and then that that they are ye rakhwali karte hame. Then there was the Nag. In every home there is a little place in Karnataka where you have the Nagamurti, and that is taken around the village on a specific day of the. There are several traditions where when you were talking about Hindus being environmentalists and idol, so Bhuta is not wrong.
No.
Nagas are not wrong. The worshipping of that, like we were talking
Nothing
about.
is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. Can I explain this? Sorry if I may.
Yeah.
Where this impression, particularly among the younger, and in a world that is highly westernized, right? What is the philosophical roots from which this has emerged? Do you notice that when Abrahamic people, when they die, bodies are buried, they're not cremated, and they say R.I.P., right?
Rest in peace, yeah.
Rest in peace. Why are you resting? What's it for? Right? You have to know the philosophical roots, at the heart of this. Their belief system is that time is linear. There's a beginning and an end. It's not circular like ours. Or actually, ours is more spiral, but okay, leave that aside. In their belief, the earth was created around 6,000 years ago, 6,500, 4,108 BCE or someone.
Ours is way complex.
That's when God said, "Let there be light." Ours goes back billions of years, and it moves in a linear line like this. Okay, the prophets came, the messiahs came. You die, your body is buried till judgment day, when God will judge everyone. Then the dead will rise at that time.
So you rest till then.
You rest in peace till that time, till judgment day, which was supposed to be a few hundred years. Now it's a few thousand years.
Which is there in the book of Revelation
Exactly.
in the Bible.
So you rest in peace till then,
In
till
purgatory.
judgment day, when the kingdom of heaven will start. And then the body rises. So if the body has risen before judgment day, which is what their concept of ghost is, then it's evil. Right? That's what the Walking Dead is.
Yeah.
Right? Hence ghosts are bad. They are clearly bad because you're not supposed to have risen till judgment day. You're supposed to rest in peace. That's the Abrahamic perspective, which has filtered into Western stories, which is now filtered into all of us. But in our way, life is essentially the soul, right? We have this body for now, but we will die and our souls will go into Pitraloka, right? For 3 generations, then either come back or find moksha. So we don't see bhuta or souls of our ancestors as negatives. They are just like us. There are some who are good, some who are bad, just like human beings. There are some human beings who are good, some human beings who are bad, right? There are some bhutas who are good, some who become pishachas and are negative.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's not that they are all, oh, how can you rise before judgment day? So, yes, there are bhutas who, just like human beings can be good, are very noble and they help us. There are some who, just like human beings, can be negative. That's the way it is. That's a philosophical thing at the heart of it.
Yeah, that's why when Kantara came in, then people figured out and explained
more
it.
complex.
It's complex. Like this wasn't explained so beautifully to me by my parents, but you've explained that. And when Kantara came in, then all of us cousins started discussing, right? That,
Like we don't
okay.
say RIP.
Yeah.
We say Om Shanti. Right? Or Om Sadgati. Your soul has moved on.
And
Right?
like he said,
we are not
3
resting. There's nothing to
generations
rest.
Yeah.
And we are always in motion.
You keep the Shraddh also.
Yeah.
You keep it for 3. Like you make that rice
You
ka
make
gola 3.
That's why you make three pindas, no?
Yeah.
So because for 3 generations, and now there the concept of time is different. And then beyond 3 generations, they move on. So
And then the
you want
4th
to
one
add
you
something.
let go when one's own father passes away.
Yeah.
He becomes that, and then you say goodbye to the one that ab aap chalega. Like you're
You're not
you're
in Pitralok anymore.
You're not
Anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't need to look
out
at
for
us
us.
and give us that protection.
See,
You are free.
Why
now.
do you put those 3? Because your ancestors are actually looking out for you. That's the entire concept.
That is the Pinddan
That's a
at that
pinda.
time.
And you're looking out for them.
Yeah.
So, in essence, the idea is if you exist, you are divine, either in realization or a work in process. But if you exist, you're divine. And all pagan ways had an expansionary and not a replacement mode of worship. The ancient Tolmecs of South America had a god called Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
The Aztecs took over from them, and their central deity was actually Huitzilopochtli. Bit of a tongue twister. But they took over from the Tolmecs and inherited the god Quetzalcoatl as well, who actually in later years became the central deity, although Huitzilopochtli hung on also. So if you exist, you are divine, and these are woven into our stories as well. Our very ancient playwright Bhasa wrote a lovely play called Urubhanga. In
Duryodhan.
which,
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Not bad, I'm impressed.
Yep. Yep. So Duryodhan's other name is Suyodhan.
Suyodhan, yes.
Actually, you can be this also, but you choose to be this. And Duryodhan's best is realized on the battlefield when he's
dying.
when he's moving on.
Yeah.
And what a resplendent, magnificent man he turns out to be as he says goodbye, not only to his wives, his son Durjay, his parents, but also his aunt Kunti, his brothers now, the Pandavas.
But he's imperfect. He couldn't stop Ashwathama.
Yeah. He tried to advise him
He
as
tried
well.
to advise him, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to advise him as well. And it was Suyodhan at his best. He realized it before moving on, which is why the Pandavas reach heaven and find
just Yudhishthir.
Duryodhan.
Because the rest fall back,
Yes,
but
yes.
Duryodhan is there.
Only
So that's
Yudhishthir.
the contradiction
Only Yudhishthir.
that theme, that contradictory theme in your book throughout, where even in this chaos there is a certain, there's a message. You
There's a
see it
principle.
throughout. In
Yeah.
every page it's
Yeah.
coming out. But see, I'm going to go back to those various cultures that you're talking about. Listen, this could be a conspiracy theory or whatever, but these ancient traditions of ours, did you see a common theme? The Indian in Indian traditions, the Indian cultures and Greek cultures, do you think that these people commingled? Their theories bounced off each other? Their gods probably were the same. Is it possible? They're from different names. I know because in the book you talk about there's similarities in Lord Hanumanji and Hercules without the angst. I'm quoting from the book. Did you notice that?
So, there were wise men among all these cultures, and wisdom has
Men and women.
Men and women, men including women,
Okay.
as stated in the Indian Penal Code.
That's true.
And wisdom has some central tenets which were common across the globe. Whether the stories germinated individually or traveled in this direction or in that direction, frankly, doesn't matter. It's not important. We don't know. As Amish said, really we don't know. But the central threads of wisdom were common. There is order, there is chaos. There is light, there is darkness. There is the good in bad and the bad in good. And there is a forever movement towards the center. There is higher love, there is lower love. There is war and wisdom, which always seems to dance
Coexist.
together
Yes.
in ancient myths. Very interesting, war and wisdom, because there can be, even in Islam, there is the lower jihad, which is the jaddo-jahad, the struggle within, where our good is engaging with our bad. The Kauravas and Pandavas, there's good in the Kauravas, there is bad in the Pandavas as well. I'm using good and bad very simply.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, I know.
deceit and there
That's
are
fine.
Yes, yes,
it's used. Yeah,
yes.
you
But
take
somehow-
out the baser instincts at some time.
Yes, but somehow, had the Kauravas won, it would not have seemed right.
Yes.
And the search as to why it would not have quite seemed right is a joyride for us.
Of
Yeah.
course.